Hey, communication is 90% of the work. I think I've seen that most with Star Labs and trying to communicate what it is and why it's so valuable. There was actually an incident where there's an upcoming VC called Bryson, and he was doing a stream where he was just going through different people's startups, like ranking them, saying what the go-to-market strategy is and all that. And I threw my startup in there, and then with everyone else, he was going in depth. Like he was saying, okay, maybe you guys can do this, communicate with this person, all that. And he gets to mine. He's like, "Oh, dang, world models. Isn't that what this group is doing?" And then I was like in the chat, like, "Yeah, blah blah blah, but we're different because explicit geometry and all that." And I was like, "Oh," it's like he said like something like research labs is really interesting, and then he just goes to a completely different topic, and then he just leaves the website. And later I asked him, "What was why did he do that?" Because like everyone else was in depth, and he was like, "I really just didn't get the idea of the thing, right?" I think that's like something that I don't really think about that much. In that a lot of my knowledge has context of what world models are and the whole literature around it. But then with most people, like they're not really familiar with it, and it's like, okay, how do you provide the value of your work without doing years of research at them? And that's a skill. Like it's a very important skill that I have to learn very quickly. Like even now, I'm applying for some AWS credit thing, and ask, okay, now I have to put like a one-liner for the company, and it's like, okay, what do I say? Like, do I say, oh, we're explicit geometry, and this is better than this and this? But like, really, no one, 99, like 99.99999% of people do not care about that at all. Like, they just care, like, what type of AI are you doing? Like, what does your AI do that other AIs can't do? Right? I think that's something I'm really struggling to figure out. Like, you can see on my data science internship, where it's like a good chunk, obviously, is like actually figuring out how to analyze the data and figure out like the themes and all that. But then another aspect is like, oh, yeah, now you have to make like slideshows explain the data to people. And like there's so many stuff where it's like, oh, this is an easy thing to explain. But then I practice and it's like, oh, that person doesn't have context of this. Right? It's like, do I just throw like the whole like code at them? Um I really don't know. I think right now, like the tagline I'm using for Star Labs is building world models that understand physics. So generated worlds can be directed, not just generated, from film and games to simulation. The whole idea of the last part is meant to capture that we're mostly focused on the entertainment market or the visual market before robotics, but it's also meant to like the same architecture that works for that market will probably work for robotics. That's the whole games and simulation stuff. But I also think something I'm really cautious about is because directing shows um you have much more control, right? You have much more control of the AI system than just generating the world. I think that's something we are able to do just by virtue of the architecture. But then it's just like, do people really understand the difference? Because even me, I have to take a step back and understand like, okay, like I guess I understand what like with direction like with directing versus generating is just really a difference between like something being more holistic versus like something being much more like, okay, I can change this and change this. um but then like I'm worried that if I say that some like, oh, actually in Genie 3 you can like do something and then it'll have a causal effect, right? Which isn't necessarily directing because like it's still like very audio aggressive and getting the whole frame at once and all that, and it's like it's much harder to get that level of, I want to say granular, I can't more fine control of the scene, right? So I don't know, but I think this is a good tagline for now. I think as time goes on, as I apply for more stuff, more grants, more money and all that, I really do have to figure out a way to condense it while like um making the value very clear, right? Because I think it's very valuable, right? You get the whole idea of you're able to have very photorealistic scenes, but the physics is correct, right? And then you also have the thing like, okay, if you actually understand physics, what are the applications of that? So it's like really cool, but how do you make people understand that, you know? But it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing. I think it's a good skill. Helps other stuff as well. Like anytime I'm doing a project with someone or like a research thing, I also have to learn how to like make the value proposition very clear. But besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.